What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I've got this special beast, the 2020 Dodge Charger SRT HELLCAT Daytona. Now, this being a limited production vehicle, there's only 501 made of these units, which is absolutely rare. And this is number 500, which I'll show you the badging and everything inside. And the limited production Daytona honors the record-breaking 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. Starting off in the front, you can see it's a whole redesign of the front and rear compared to the previous generations, obviously. On the bottom, you've got a ton of room for airflow because obviously this much power, you need maximum airflow. And I really like what they did here with this insert right there for the airflow. It looks absolutely beautiful. And of course, from the front end, it looks very, very aggressive. You've also got your SRT HELLCAT badging in the front, along with your LED lighting, which is the traditional for the Dodge Chargers, and the design of it, it's just amazing. Up on the hood, you've got a bunch of venting. You've got hood scoops here and over here, and of course one in the middle for maximum airflow. These are obviously functioning hood scoops. Why wouldn't they be? And they look really, really nice. And from the side of the Daytona, you can see a ton of different features that this vehicle has, and I'll cover them shortly here. But from the side, it looks absolutely beautiful. You'll also notice this bad boy is a wide body edition, which looks very, very wide. It doesn't do justice on camera, but this thing looks beautiful. And of course, with the wide body, you do have to get the wider wheels as well, which looks really, really nice. As for the wheels, these are 20-inch, silver aluminum wheels, which look really, really nice with the whole theme of the vehicle, since this vehicle is painted in the beautiful B5 paint. And you can't forget about those massive Brembo brakes that you need on this vehicle in order to stop all of this power. Another unique feature is that you get the white HELLCAT logo on both sides, which again adds a really nice touch to the Daytona. And the suspension on this Daytona is actually very, very unique because it's built especially for this, being a wide body, bigger wheels, wider wheels, and a lot of power. Also, with the Daytona package, you do also get the blacked out Brembo brakes, which go all around the vehicle and look very, very nice and subtle. And you can't forget about this massive Daytona badging, logoing, whatever you want to call it, which looks really, really cool. And you also get this nice looking white, kind of like a wide body spoiler, which looks really, really nice, and it goes all along the vehicle. And you can see it's a bit far out, so it complements the wide body. And coming to the rear of the Daytona, you can see obviously the refreshed rear look and your traditional huge tail light in the back of the Chargers with your Dodge logo in the back and your integrated backup camera, parking sensors all along the rear, and your dual exhaust, which sounds absolutely beautiful. Being a high-powered car, if you take a look in the trunk, you've got massive storage to put whatever you need to. A little bit of lighting on both sides, and underneath this you've got a little bit of storage, your tire pressure, and a battery at the back as well. So for a very high powered muscle car, you've got a ton of room in the back. And the Daytona does have keyless entry. You press this, you lock it, have the key with you, hand under, and it unlocks. This is what the key fob looks like, very traditional to any other Dodge. You've got your unlock, lock, your tailgate release, you've got your mode start, panic, and then SRT written on the back. Opening your tailgate, you double tap and it opens right up. And to hear what this bad boy sounds like, double tap, give it a second, and the beast is alive. And looking at what powers this beast of a Daytona, you can see it's the 8-speed automatic 6.2 liter SRT V8 Hemi engine, producing 717 horsepower with 650 foot-pound of torque. And like I mentioned, those grille inserts on the hood are all functional. If you want to go 0 to 60 in this, or 0 to 100 if you're in Canada, this will hit it in about 3.6 seconds. This is probably one of my favorite specs on a Dodge Charger, especially the Daytona, just because of how everything is set up. You've got your B5 blue paint, you've got your silver aluminum 20-inch wheels, and then you've got the white in the back saying Daytona with the white spoiler, and the blue stitching interior with the black seats. Absolutely gorgeous. Coming into the rear of the Daytona, you've got more special, unique features, which is your blue accent stitching all around the vehicle inside. which I think looks really, really unique. And you've got more of this kind of like an Alcantara type feeling, leather, more stitching, and a little bit of storage down here. And then of course you've got part of the Harman Kardon speaker sound system, which this has at the rear, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. As for the rear seats, again, lots and lots of more Alcantara all around. And of course you can't forget about the blue stitching, which goes everywhere and looks really, really nice. In the center here, you've got room for some cup holders, lift this, and a little bit of storage down there. And that's about it. As for behind the driver and passenger seat, you've got kind of like this hard plastic with the leather and a little bit of storage on both sides. In the center, rear handrest, whatever you want to call it, you've got venting and heated seats for the rear passengers, and of course, USB ports as well. Opening up the front, coming into the driver's side, again, you've got more of that blue stitching, Alcantara, leather, all of that good stuff with some space in there. Window controls, and then your memory seating right there. Up on the passenger and driver seats, you'll notice you have stitched in Daytona badging, along with, of course, you guessed it, more Alcantara and more blue stitching, which looks really, really nice. Over at the bottom, we've got this nice metal pedal layout along with your parking brake, hood latch release right there. The front seats, of course, are power adjustable. Up top, you've got your lighting controls, interior dimmers, and then your trunk release right there. The steering wheel on this is power adjustable, front, back, left, or right, which is nice. And looking at the dashboard, it's very, very kind of like a hard leather. I can't really explain it, but goes all the way around, looks nice and clean, and of course, more blue stitching. And you've got speakers on both corners and in the center for your Harman Kardon sound system. This steering wheel is probably one of my favorite steering wheels. It's all Alcantara, and then you got a little bit of kind of like a silver aluminum type finish. And then you've got your white and blue stitching that goes all the way around. And of course, in the center, you've got the SRT logo, and with your controls for the digital dash in the center, Bluetooth controls, and then your cruise control settings right there. This wouldn't be an SRT without paddle shifters on both sides, which make the car more fun. To the left of that, you've got your windshield, wiper controls, high beam, turn signals, and all of that. And another nice touch on this is that you get this carbon fiber trim all around that goes all around the touchscreen everywhere, and it just looks really, really nice and clean. In the center, you've got your traditional RPM and then your speed. Yes, you can take this baby up to 340 kilometers an hour, but you might want to find a safe place to do that. In the center, you've got a bunch of little options that you can go through, like your speed, vehicle information, performance, fuel economy, trip info, audio, messages, screen setup, speed warning, which I don't think you would want to turn on in this, and then your diagnostics, and then back to your speed. And of course, when you start this bad boy up, you get the nice HELLCAT logo right there. On the center handrest in the front, you've got more leather and more blue stitching, which looks really cool. If you open this up, you've got a decent amount of room. You can kind of take this tray out, put some stuff in here. You've got a 12-volt adapter, USB ports, and auxiliary ports, and you can put this tray back in and put a little bit more stuff in there. Right in front of that, you've got your cup holders, which are illuminated at night, and it just adds to the touch of this vehicle. Here you've got kind of, I guess you can put your key fob in there, and then more stitching, blue stitching on the gear selector with the leather wrap around it. It looks really, really nice. Some storage in there, and then another one of your 12-volt adapters. And right above that, you've got your temperature controls right there, and more controls over here, your traction control, your parking sensors, launch mode, of course you want to launch this, and then SRT pages, which I'll cover in a second. In the center here, it's a pretty traditional touchscreen compared to other Chargers, Challengers. You've got your radio, your climate over here, you've got your controls. The front seats are heated and ventilated, along with the heated steering wheel, and the passenger side is both heated and vented. And then of course you can go through your apps. You've got your navigation, your phone settings, if you have your Bluetooth set up, and then of course your typical settings. Now for the fun part, if you press SRT, it will bring you to the SRT pages. Here you can do a lot of customization to this vehicle, and you'll be surprised at what you can see and what you can do. For example, you've got settings that you can put this in either track, sport, custom, or auto. And then you've got drive modes, obviously, which I just went over, performance pages, and then race options. If you're right on this screen right here, which is the main screen when you press the SRT button, you've got your pre-stage. This is your active line lock. You can do those massive burnouts. to heat up the tires when you're ready to hit the drag strip. And of course, you've got your launch control settings right there. You can set it to whatever RPM you need to, from a minimum of 1,000 and a maximum of 2,500. Now, once you're done launching this bad boy, you can go into something called the race cool down. This is your checklist for post-race. Your engine, has to be off. Once you meet all of the requirements, you can press race cool down. So like I was saying, if you go into drive modes, you get the same, track, sport, custom, and auto, and you can actually tell which traction or suspension settings you're in, street, sport, or custom, track, or whatever it may be. And if you have the red key, you will have the full access to the full power. Of course, I have the black key right now, but of course you get both keys. And right below that, you can go into race options, which again gives you line lock, launch control, your shift light, race cool down, and it kind of is a crazy thing and setting to be in. If we go back to this page, and the reason of course you want a black key is of course you can put it into valet mode, and then of course you can also put this into eco mode, which I don't know why you would, but hey, everyone has their own way of driving the vehicle. Going back into the SRT dashboard, if we go to performance pages, this brings you to this performance pages section where you can see a ton of different things for your vehicle, such as your power, current gear, G-forces, and all of that. You've got timers, if you want to see how fast you're going, 0 to 60 and all of that. You've got your different gauges that you can go through, your G-force settings right here, and then you've got your engine right here. You can see, the torque, the power, boost pressure, everything that you're using. And then if you want to dyno this, you can kind of see the breakdown between the power and the torque. Going back into the SRT dashboard, if we now go into race options, this is again like the option that I showed you. Moving up, you've got your rear view mirror with assist and SOS buttons. Up top, you've got your interior lighting, and then your sunroof venting and opening, and then interior buttons right here. And then of course, your sunroof, which looks absolutely nice with this vehicle. Coming over to the passenger side, again, you can see the nice stitched in Daytona lettering. And then of course, this is what I was talking about. You've got the special badging. This is 500 of 501 limited edition. In the glove department, you've got, a decent amount of room that you can kind of put whatever you need to, and that's about it. Luckily, the previous owner kept the original window sticker, which I'll go over with you. Again, this is the 2020 Dodge Charger SRT HELLCAT wide body Daytona. So here are the specs of it, the standard options that the vehicle comes with, and then of course your custom optional equipment, which of course you have your Daytona package and all the other stuff. And that's it for this 2020 Dodge Charger SRT HELLCAT Daytona. Let me know in the comments down below if you love it or if you hate it.